We are, we got the sun shining up here in Michigan, which is a beautiful thing. Hopefully you got it shining wherever you are as well. Where the seasons are starting to change a little bit up here. And we're now moving forward into a time of season where we actually can walk around without, winter hats on. But I know to the north of us, it's still cold and weather's weather. The beautiful thing is about seasons is um, they help you appreciate, right? Whether too much sun, you start getting too hot, you look forward to the winter. At least that's how it is up here in Michigan. It's why the people who live here don't leave here. A lot of them stay. As much as we complain about the snow, the four seasons are pretty cool. Anyway, let's get down to business. Um, DAC leadership Zoom. This is for those who want to establish marketplaces, right? And we put a little recipe up last week about what to do, how you could establish a marketplace. Then we talked about Friday, how people could just email a few people a day. And Tuesday we talked about game day and how to build out that meeting. I'm going to encourage all of you to start doing your own Zoom meetings. I will be getting I've updated the slides a little bit for tomorrow night. And so I'm going to do tomorrow night slides and then I will update them into the back office. I just got to proofread them and stuff. So by tomorrow night, they'll be updated. I'm encouraging you start doing your own meetings, even if it's just you and two right now. As we talked about last week, that is one of the secrets of liberating yourself to be able to not be limited by a recording. Recordings are great, automation's great, scale is great. But when you're trying to find the ambitious, when you're trying to identify those who don't need you, but will actually grow the business ahead of you, who will scale it faster than you, they're people who you want to give that extra time to. And today's what I want to talk about here over the next 10 minutes is how to spot the ambitious, what to do with the ambitious. But it starts by being the ambitious. We recruit who we are. So the first thing I'd ask you all to do is just kind of check your own tachometers. In a car, you've got a speedometer, you got the tachometer, which shows the engine speed. You have the speedometer, the car speed. You have fuel gauges, how much gas you got left, temperature gauges, tire gauges, radio volume gauges. Everything's measurable, right? And each one of you and each one of us in our corporate team, we all have gauges. And some of our volumes are down low, some of them are amped up. Some of us are screaming with the RPMs, but we're not in drive. And if you know what that means, you got the engine, the engine's racing, but you haven't put it in gear. Um, so I would just ask all of you to pretend you have a dashboard on your business that looks at number one, your client funnel. How many people are you putting into your client funnel every day? There needs to be some added to that every day. 2 a day, 10 in play, follow up to grow your pay. 5 a day, 50 in play, follow up to grow your pay. 50 a day, 500 in play, right? Whatever the number is, you can grow that. So the first thing is your client funnel. The second thing is your agent funnel, new prospective agents personally. What's your agent funnel look like? 2 a day, 10 in play, 5 a day, 50 in play, whatever that number is, you want to be adding to your agent funnel. And then you have your leadership funnel. Your leadership funnel is of the agents, how many of them are showing and demonstrating something differently? And you want to invite them to this Monday. And you want to see what they can do about establishing their marketplace. So you have client funnel, agent funnel, leadership funnel. Those three metrics you want to watch. Now, if you look at your client funnel and it's yawn, you're empty, your gas is empty, there's no one in it. There's no one new potentially joining. There's no one looking at the biz op today. There's no one you talked to yesterday about it. There's no one you talked to 2 days ago about it. There's no one planning on coming Tuesday night. Okay, well, you got to add some fuel to the agent funnel, right? Of course. And if you look at the client funnel, same thing. If you don't already have a bunch of people to reach back to from your past that you're communicating with and just following up with, and if you don't have a bunch of people you reached out to last week who had questions that you're following up with, and they're in that process where you're helping them along to get to an application. If you don't have a lot in that client funnel, then what do we got to do? Add some petro to the client funnel. Start adding some prospects to it, right? Push a bunch over there. We got this farm sink in our kitchen here. I'm not a fan. If you've ever seen these farm sinks, they're flat on the bottom. which to me is like foolish in a kitchen. They look great, but when you turn the water on and the rice sits at the bottom of the sink and doesn't rinse to the drain, now we got a squeegee to squeegee the bottom of the sink to get everything over to the disposal. And it doesn't matter how much is in there, it just doesn't go down. You got to squeeze. It's like poor design. And there's a slight bend, but not enough. The gravity isn't enough to pull over the resistance of the aluminum. It's just awful design. Looks beautiful. I wish I could rip it out, right? But so now we squeegee. The funneling your business, some people have prospects. It's like a farm sink. There's just millions of prospects in your town, but you haven't moved them into your funnel yet. You haven't pushed them into your drain yet. They're not just going to get there. They're just going to sit where they are. They're not going to get to the drain. So you got to move all those businesses into the funnel, right? And then the leaders of your agents. And by the way, there's another funnel in your client called referral funnel. Your referral clients. How many of your clients are referral partners? How many of them are taking advantage of the Breezy Connect Cash and sending you leads? How many of them are you reaching out to and say, hey, do you know any business owners I might be able to help? You know how we helped you? Love to help them. So you've got client funnel, you got agent funnel, you got leader funnel. But in the clients, then you have a referral partners, right? And in agents, you have leaders. So those are the four things you want to track: client, agent, leader, referral partners. So those four things, how do you get more energy out of all of them? You focus on them. It's real simple. You don't need to focus 4 hours a day on each one of those. If you put 10 minutes a day into, okay, I want to get my referral partner funnel filled a little bit more. I'm going to reach out to some of my old clients. Okay, I want to get my agent funnel going again. I'm going to think of 3 or 4 people in a town that I've not opened yet that I can have a passion for opening. Let's think, La Jolla, California. Who do I know in La Jolla that I can reach out to and say, hey, I want to expand DAC into La Jolla, California, and I'm looking for people. You cross my mind. Or you just have a little mindset. You say, who do I know that's an entrepreneur who does not live within 30 miles from me? And you make a memory jogger, you make a list down. And you say, okay, I'm going to reach out to these people this week. And I'm going to let them know I'm looking to help expand my company on a national level. So I was thinking of anyone who doesn't live in my backyard who's entrepreneurial. And your name crossed my mind. And so I said, I got to reach out to Steve, and see if you might be interested in helping us kick off our business in your town. There's great override, great passion, great business impact, and great income. You looking to do something outside of what you're doing, Steve? Nah. Okay. Marcy, hey, I'm reaching out. I started thinking, who do I know that doesn't live within a 10-mile range or 20-mile or 30-mile, whatever that is. So 10 minutes, you reach out to a couple people a day. If you do a couple people a day who you're thinking expansion mindset, and a couple people a day you're thinking client funnel, and a couple people a day you're thinking what? Referral partner funnel. And a couple people a day, you're reaching out to your current agents who are showing ambition, showing something, and asking them, are you interested in being a leader with DAC, or are you just looking to stay, as an agent and make some side money and maybe build a team, but not really leading? And ask some questions to find out if you want to be a leader? Great. Have you gone through the biz op overview? Do you understand what it's like to do meetings yet, to establish a market yet? Got this video Ruts did a few weeks ago called Establisher or Agent. Which one are you? I want to send it to you and send them that video. Man, the stuff that we talk about on these Zooms, if you grab them and say, okay, I'm going to get Joe to listen to this one and Mike to listen to this one and Lisa to listen to this one, there's some real high value in what we're talking about here, things that we've used to build national organizations. So establish your agent, let them see it. And then when they say they want to be a leader, make sure they're plugging in here each week, and then also help them open their market. It just means doing local biz op overviews, local trainings, local game plans, and being a local rod of enthusiasm and support and encouragement, right? And that locality doesn't have to be physical. It can be, again, like we talked about, it could just be their first level and second level. They can be 5 different cities. It's okay as long as they're saying, okay, we're going to have a Zoom at 2 o'clock on Thursday, and I'll see you back Thursday at 2 o'clock. And you got a text. It's called the Super Group, and whatever it is. And there's 7 of you on the text together, and localize. So So many people have, because of the internet, have gotten to the point where they go, I don't want to do any of that. I just want to scale people to my website and get a bunch of people to go and just get the drips that come out the bottom, and then a bunch of agents and get the drips that come out the bottom, and some of them will do something, some won't. And but I just don't want to invest time in this. And then they end up investing a lot more time than if they would just duplicate 4 or 5 people. And you duplicate 4 or 5 people, you don't duplicate 4 or 5 on accident. They don't just duplicate. They don't just start doing it. They might be ambitious, but they'll give it a whirl for a little while and realize no one in my upline is really doing this and focused on this. And they'll either go somewhere else or they'll build a relationship with corporate. And then you got to hope that the relationship stays strong, because if you're not there to encourage them, they're not going to stay encouraged, right? They may go buy you to us, but the best way to do it is instead be proactive, go outward and talk vision about let's open new markets together. So I love, by the way, in 1992, when I was doing that, most didn't want to do it either. So it has nothing to do with technology. It's just now there's a lot more people spewing programs on YouTube, and pay me $39 a month and I'll give you the system that's the hack-free system that's proven to work. Pay me 4,000 and I'll give you the system that's proven to work. All it is, there's a lot more noise. But back then it used to be a newspaper full of business opportunities. Now it's the internet and everyone's an expert. But the reality is it was hard then too. So it's never easy, but when you build it, it's simple. It's simple. All right. So let's talk. I got some notes here I want to go through with you, and I want to get through this pretty quick. All right. First of all, you're looking to attract ambitious, coachable doers, right? That's who we're looking for. So the first thing to do is how do you spot if they're ambitious? I'm just going through some notes. Number one, they take initiative before being told what to do. They don't make excuses. They find a way to get things done. They show up without needing to be reminded. You don't have to tell them about Tuesday every Tuesday. You don't have to tell them about Monday every Monday. You have to tell them about Wednesday or Friday. You've told them once. If you got to tell them every week that there's a Friday agent update, they're not ambitious. At least not for us, right? If you got to remind them of the Tuesday night business overview, they're not ambitious, okay? They ask specific questions about how to grow, not just how do I make money. They don't need hand holding. They're already taking action. Frank, that's enough. Squirrel ran in our backyard. Home-based business, it's great, but there's a bark and a bite once in a while. Not a bite, just a bark. So you could test them. After they join, do they complete their first steps without you? Do they reach out to you and say, yeah, I watched the onboarding training? Because the welcome email says to do that. Have they already done that, or do you have to talk them into it? Well, if you got to talk them into it, come on. No one had to talk me into showing up to trainings. I was traveling all over the country to go to trainings. You didn't have to tell me to go. You were either riding the coattails with me or you were being replaced. Both my enroller and his enroller quit. And I went to that enroller after that. And we traveled together and went to trainings. He didn't have to promote them to me. You shouldn't have to promote to ambitious people that they're hungry, right? Do they attend the Zoom calls, trainings on their own? Have they talked to anyone yet about the funding or about the business? All right, that's ambition. All right, red flag. If you have to chase them, they're not ambitious. Obviously, how to spot coachability, because we want ambition, coachability, and doers. Coachability, it's basically just a willingness to learn and apply what they've learned, right? And follow what they've learned. So how do you spot someone who's coachable? Number one, they listen without arguing when you give advice. Or they listen and they do what they hear in the training. They don't listen to the training, go, I'm gonna do something else. That's not coachable. That's fine. They can go do whatever they want. Just don't call them coachable. They apply what they learn quickly when they're coachable. They seek feedback and actually adjust their approach when they're coachable. They follow systems and scripts instead of trying to reinvent the process all the time when they're coachable. They actually start their thing with, you don't know me directly, but I was reaching out to you because, and they say something to relate with them, right? They actually follow what we teach. And they're willing to do uncomfortable things if they're coachable, because that stretches them a little bit. Anyone who's got a coach in sports, they would ask you to do things you didn't necessarily always want to do, but you knew by doing them over and over and over, you'd actually become a better performer, whatever that was, whether it was dance or cheer or football or driving or whatever it was, right? Red flag. If they know it all and resist feedback, they're it's one thing to have a lot of experience and come here and say, yeah, I've got a model I've learned, but those people know I got to learn the DAC way. And who comes here and says, I don't need to learn the DAC way. We've funded hundreds of millions of dollars already, thousands of clients. If they say, yeah, I did real well in mortgages, so I know what I'm doing here in funding with businesses. Okay, you're wrong. You know how to deal with people, you understand mortgages, but I've funded thousands of clients in business funding, and I can't tell you enough about mortgages to lead a team or to ignore your advice if you're in the mortgage business and you've only been in it 6 months. You know more than I do, and I'd be a fool. And I'd be actually be ignorant to ignore your advice. But yet people coming, I've been in insurance for a long time. I know how to deal with people as, okay, great. But what do you know about our revenue-based funding? Because that's what we market. We're not marketing insurance. We're marketing funding, right? So if they're a know-it-all, then if they're really a know-it-all, then they know to be coachable in new markets. And if they're not coachable in new markets, they're actually arrogant and prideful. They're not a know-it-all. They're kind of ignorant to success in areas outside of what they already know. All right. So that's a good signal, right? And how do you spot a doer? A doer is people who take action consistently, not just for a season, not just for a 3-day blitz, but consistently, right? They don't talk about what they're going to do. They do it. They may mention what they're going to do, but they also do it. It's really easy to be motivated to say what we're going to do, but it's another thing to actually do it when we don't feel like doing it. They bring results, conversations, applications, fundings, new agents. They push through discomfort, like reaching out, care calling, care emailing, care canvassing. We call it cold care rather than cold, because if you go out looking at it as a cold call, we know what happens. We think we're annoying people. If we go out as a care call, then we're going out to support and help. And we're not concerned about the outcome. We're concerned that we can't not let this information be known to them. That we got to let them know about the information. They don't complain about obstacles. They just find the solutions and they execute fast instead of overthinking. All right. So if you were to say, hey, like we did the thing the other day, if you do 2 a day, 10 and play, go ahead and go into the Facebook group and put your 2. Some of them did it. A lot of people did 2, 2, 2. I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. But they haven't gone to Facebook to say they've done it. So maybe they're not a doer, right? Or maybe they need to be reminded. Doing means doing consistently, right? So, and if they tell you I'm going to do it later, next week, following, they've always got a reason. That just means the priorities of other things, whether it's leisure, sports, hobbies, parenting, jobs, all those things are important. I get it. But you're looking for doers. And for you to establish your investment of time, you're looking for people who put this as a priority. If this is not a priority in their life, then you can't make them a priority in your life. Did you hear that? If this DAC and their investment of time is not a priority in their life, then don't make them and your investment in supporting them a priority in yours. Our system will support them. Our trainings will support them. Right? The Zooms they can go to. You want to be an encourager, give them benefit of the doubt till they prove otherwise. But once they're starting to prove otherwise, don't be a fool to keep investing a lot of time into them. When someone shows you who they are, believe it until they show you otherwise, right? Trust, but verify. And as soon as you verify they're not, then trust they're not. That doesn't mean we hurt them. This is why we don't make money on them. If they spend more time talking than acting, they're not a doer. How to recruit the right people. If you talk about how anyone can do this, this is so easy. You're going to attract a lot of people who are lazy, who are just looking for a free ride, who've never had to do anything and expect they're entitled. They feel entitled. Like it's almost our fault that we didn't give them better images, that the website didn't get them leads. That they signed up so they should be given leads, or they signed up so anyone I recruit I should earn money on because I brought them to you. they're this mentality. It's entitled mentality, and about 30% of the population's got this entitled mentality. Good thing they weren't born in a country where you didn't get all this stuff like in America, because I don't know how they'd survive. Maybe they would survive because they'd realize you can't just be entitled. There's no guaranteed anything here, right? We got to earn. This is a performance base. You don't have to prove your by your gender or your color or your age or your experience or your education. None of that gets you a raise here. We don't have job offers that are looking at your LinkedIn. We're not looking at your LinkedIn resume to decide how much to pay your commission. The computer pays it. If you don't renew, you don't get paid. You're inactive. If you don't qualify, you don't earn the overrides. You earn personally enroller bonuses only, and it's only 10 points. If you are getting clients, you'll make 25 or 50 as enroller bonuses, and you deserve it versus someone who doesn't deserve it. They're not doing it, right? Performance based. So if you're looking to attract doers, put it into your approach. Put it into your approach. All right. So it's not just this is simple. You want to tell them, as we talk about all the time, you're looking for people who are doers. I'm looking for sharp driven people to help me open Grand Rapids market. I'm looking for sharp, ambitious. Look, this is an agent calling me right now. Is an agent calling while we're on a Zoom? Is this a leader? No, it's not a leader. A leader would know, don't interrupt while they're on a Zoom. Check if he's on a Zoom first. That's not a doer. That's not ambition. That's someone who's unplugged and wants all the attention, but won't bring responsibility to deserve the attention, right? So when we are doing, we're only looking for the doers, and we can't waste time with those who want. Hey, we love and care for everyone. Otherwise, I'd be charging everyone money and making money on their lack of action, right? And you'd be making money on their lack of action. We're not about that. I'm okay with not everyone's going to be active here. We're okay with that. But we got a business to build. We got a business to build. DAC and Bank Breezy are either going to be the leader in business funding or someone's going to take our idea and blow by us. So we need establishers. When I say start doing the meeting and I look and none of you are doing, well, some of you are doing meetings, I know, but you're not doing meetings, I say, okay, they're just not coachable. They're not doing what we're asking to do. They're not doing, no problem. They're just not the one. It's the same thing I'm saying to you. I say, this is how we live. We must know who's our quarterbacks and who's our receivers and who's our cheerleaders and who's going to buy tickets, fill the stands, who's going to cheer us on from the sidelines, and who's actually in the game. And hey, listen, I've got a lot. We spend, as I told you, almost $700,000 a year, $800,000 a year to run this operation that you're looking at. And we don't charge anyone anything. We make it purely on revenue. If we've got people that want to help build it, we want to pour the world into them, right? And so you want to do the same, because we are going to make this $1 billion company, and there's going to be a handful of agents who are worth 100 to 150 million dollars. And there's going to be a bunch of agents worth $1 million. But there's going to be a handful that's going to be worth 100 to 150 million. And if this is $1 billion company and 25% is set aside for the agents who build it, some people are going to be worth 100, $200 million just in value, not counting their income. Or you don't believe that, and that's okay if you don't believe that. But if it comes to be true, and those people are given that equity because they built it, do you think we're just going to be okay with people? Okay, Dave said do ABC. I'm not doing that. So would he ever give me equity in the company? Probably not. Probably not. But I'm producing. Yeah, it doesn't matter. McDonald's had to do it the McDonald's way. It didn't matter if someone wanted to make steak burgers. That wasn't McDonald's way. They hurt the company, in fact, by doing it their way. So we're pruning. We're pruning. I'd rather just a stump with the roots into the right soil than a bunch of trees that can't handle storms and are just sprouted up for a little bit and can't build it, right? So I'm right now, we are in a position of established markets. We need you doing presentations. We need you filling events. We need you getting clients. We need you recruiting others to do the same. That's what we need of our leaders. And someone who doesn't want to do that, it's okay. You've got a great agent opportunity for them. But Monday's for establishers. All right. So you're looking for doers, but I went over this because I'm showing you the things I'm looking at. Are you doing everything we said on this? Are you a doer? Are you coachable? Are you ambitious? Or are you not? Do you want to become that? Is there enough of a reason in DAC for you to do that? Is there enough of a reason in your life to do that? If so, let's rock and roll. Even if you haven't done it this far, press the button and let's go. Let's reset. It's called reset. But if you got to reset every 3 months and reset, then you got to look deeper and find what is it? What is it that's stopping you from just going and jumping and running? Okay. So be the person and attract the person. Help me out with that. Be it and attract it. Be it and attract it. You'll have the new slides tomorrow night. The game plan slides are also being updated. What we have is fine. You can do the presentation what's up there now. But what you're going to see tomorrow night will be the most current one. So between now and tomorrow, lead your team, get your team out there, and let's make sure we're filling our client funnel, our agent funnel, our leadership funnel, and our referral partner funnel. Let's make sure we're doing it, or let's not call ourselves a leader. Let's begin with that, and then make sure we're establishing markets, our local team. It could be you and one. It could be you and two. It could be you and three and you and none right now. But are you doing the things? Are you putting your own team call together? Are you doing your own team encouragement? Are you getting on Facebook and getting all your group into the Facebook page and commenting to them and get them in the community? Are you doing that or are you not? So the equity is not going to be given to those who don't do that stuff. Obviously, this is what I got to do to grow the company. It's what we need people to do. But there is equity here on the table for those who do that. And not to mention the pay plan pays very well for doing these things. All right, guys, we're going to run now. We're not going to take questions today. We'll see you tomorrow in the team building. Tomorrow night, biz op. Fill the room, fill the room, fill the room, fill the room. Who's going to have most people, most butts on the seats? I don't know, but let's fill the room.